The devil in there looked like pizza.
Keely.
Oh my God.
Keely.
And Claude. Hey, everyone.
Test 1, 2. Tunted. Waha. Yep, we got it. We got sound.
We're good. What's up?
We're good. We're in.
We're back. This is our friend Claude.
Hello.
Doesn't he have a dope shirt?
He does have a dope shirt.
Thank you.
He always has dope shirts.
I might move my hand because last time I had my hand here the whole time and the video looked like I was just giving Yoni a massage.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Massages.
Massages are
friends
good.
can share massages.
Yeah, you know, we're
Very
not afraid of
relaxing.
physical touch. You
No.
know?
It's
You know?
2019.
Yeah. Let's
Also,
show
like
love.
hugs and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Everyone should hug more.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like all the men that we're friends with are like hug friendly, and I like that.
We should start a hug initiative.
Sure.
Yeah, that works.
So, Claude, we appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy to do it.
Yeah.
This is Claude, a good friend of ours, also the guy that's set up the cameras and shoots this podcast for us, for listeners to also be able to watch.
And he's a dope photographer.
He's a dope
Thank you,
photographer.
And we met on Instagram, which is so weird to
yeah.
me. You're probably my
We're
first
pretty
Instagram
common
friend.
these
Yeah,
days.
definitely my first Instagram friend. And it's 2 years last month, around this time?
I think
Maybe.
so. Was it 2017?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
2017.
Yeah, because we
for sure.
hadn't released Home yet. We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
How did y'all connect? Like, what was the connective tissue?
I don't know.
Yeah, me
like
neither.
you shot a friend of a. I honestly don't know how I found you. Maybe just like LA photographers or something. I was like, oh, this guy shoots
Yeah.
great photos and wanted some new ones for the website. So I was like, I guess I'll do that thing that some people do where they message people and hope
Yeah.
he's not a creep.
Yeah, that was my first Instagram experience. Because I
Yeah.
had just started it because I had photos. I'm like, I need to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
I was in school. And then you reached out. And so I was like, all right, I'll try this out. See
Yeah.
if it works. And it did.
That's cool.
And that kicked off my whole Instagram. I don't have like a lot of followers, but like just kicked off the whole
Your
meeting-
portfolio
meeting-
is
Building-
like
building up,
really
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, which was fun.
And a couple different profiles for a couple different avenues.
yeah,
Very multi-talented.
Yeah.
yeah, got the hang of
You got a
Instagram.
great eye for clothing,
Yeah, thank
great
you.
eye for
Shots.
photography.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Getting into video.
We
Yeah,
just
Jay.
brought you on to brag about you.
Yeah.
Nah, thanks.
We're
You
plugging-
guys were
we're-
like a huge inspiration behind everything because I didn't know what I was gonna do with photography, and then when we met, it ended up being really cool. And then people reached out to me through you, and then I remember you talking about Home, and I thought the idea was like so dope. And then it came out, and then you hit me up to shoot the screening.
Yeah.
And so that's when I was like,
Yeah.
all right, LA
How's
is
that?
cool. Because at the time,
LA
I
is
didn't really
cool
know what I was going to do in LA, really.
Yeah.
We didn't either, man.
We still don't know.
We
We're
still
still
don't.
figuring it
Same,
out.
yeah, same.
That night was still one of the coolest nights of
Yeah.
our lives. Like
Yeah, that night was dope.
being able to bring people together on something you've been working on for years.
Yeah, that you
Was-
made with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. It was
Yeah.
super inspiring. And that's what got me, put the battery in my back. to,
Yeah.
like, just be creative and create. Like how you guys did it all yourself.
Yeah.
So 1 second, Angie's happening.
Houston, we have a problem. Sometimes it happens.
Back
And
online.
we're back.
So, yeah, that's how we became friends. Proves the internet can be cool.
Yeah. that's it.
Because you moved here from,
San Francisco. Originally from Florida.
yeah. So how long were you in San Francisco?
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years. I went there for school and to just get
In San
out of
Francisco,
Florida.
yeah.
And I've wanted to live in San Francisco since about 12. I saw an episode of Full House.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
And I thought Full House was like make-believe. And then
I mean, it isn't.
No.
It is, but
it is, but
It's a
isn't.
real house.
I know it's a real place. Like
Yeah,
them
okay.
driving on the Golden Gate Bridge and at the
Yeah.
park, I'm like, oh, people do that.
and
That's
the trolley.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem kind of magical.
And it was the episode where they lost Comet, and then they actually filmed in San Francisco because they're running around San Francisco trying to find Comet.
Yeah, because they're on the trolley. I remember that.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like find another dog?
Yeah, and falls in love with another dog.
Great
and I'm like,
storyline.
damn, this is a real place.
Oh,
So
now this one's dead.
I need to move there because that's
Because
cool.
you needed a Comet in your life?
Yeah. Well, the Comet thing was just a bonus. I ended up getting a dog, but like seeing the city, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm gonna live there. And
Yeah.
And then you did.
Yeah, 10 years later, I moved to San Francisco, and it was fun.
Because what was Florida like that was so different? That what you saw?
Everything you hear on the news.
I hear people eat face. You know, that's what I hear.
I was there.
Not
I was there
everyone.
that year.
Hashtag not all people in Florida,
not all
but
people.
some of them.
No, Florida's cool. It's fun. I just knew if I didn't move, I would be stuck at home, you know, for the rest of my life. And I always wanted to like see the world. Not like I traveled to Europe and shit, but like moving to the West Coast is like my first step to like seeing different places.
right.
Stepping outside of the norm.
Yeah.
Wait, you went to school in San Francisco and in Florida,
Yeah,
right?
and in Florida. So I went to school in Florida. I went to West Palm Beach. I went to school in West Palm Beach, then Tallahassee. Then I got into fashion, and I went to San Francisco for a fashion school up there.
Oh, nice.
So before that, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew like, hey, this is what you do. You go to college and get a job, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
So I was just in school just to be in school. I had no direction really until I got into fashion, and that brought me to San Francisco. And
That's
then
so
ended
cool.
up working out. So it was cool. It was fun. So yeah, I put two and two together when I saw the school, and I'm like, oh, that's the place, and Full House. So then I'm like,
Confirmed.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So it was like that was my ticket to California as a whole and San Francisco. So yeah,
Did you go to a Christian school in Florida too?
yes, I did. I went to a
High
Christian.
school or college or
Both.
Both.
I went to a Christian high school. Well, all right, we can go way back. How far back do you?
As far back as you
As far
want to
back
go.
as you want to
So
go.
I went to
Tell us
a-
the journey of Claude.
Small. I was in public school.
Yeah.
Time of my life. It was great. But I used to get in trouble. Like big trouble. It was mischievous. And then my
Like,
mom.
what would you do?
Just, I don't know. Just dumb shit that kids do. Just not pay attention, I guess. Play. Just, if I see something I want, like, you're not supposed to touch,
Yeah, touch it.
I'm going to touch it. You know, like, I don't know. Just like.
It didn't get you like ISS or anything. It just
No. I'm not major school. I was young.
Slapped by a ruler.
Yeah. That was the next school. So I was young. So it was like, just like my friends, we were just mischievous.
Yeah.
You know, and like we'd bring toys to school that you're not supposed to pull toys out during lessons. But you have to flex when you got a street shark.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't not show everybody I got a street shark.
Yeah, you can't. That's rule number one of owning a street shark.
Yeah, you
must
got to show
flex
everybody
on
you have
them.
it. You know? And yeah, just stuff like that. And then my cousin went to this small Jamaican, my family's Jamaican.
Okay.
So my cousin went to this small Jamaican school. And they were like really advanced. So my mom, like, she pulled me out halfway in the year in 4th grade, put me there. Academically, I was doing like really well, but they're like super strict.
The Jamaican school.
Yeah. So it was cool. It's small, like a class like 8 kids. I went from a class of like 50 kids to 8, something crazy like that.
Better one-on-one attention.
You can't get away with a lot. You get
they're
you get the whoopings and all that stuff with the ruler.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
So this was the private school.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the small like Jamaican school. It's not a Jamaican. It's not like hey, we're Jamaican school. It's a lot of Jamaicans go there.
Was like the principal Jamaican?
Yeah, everybody.
The
was
founder
Jamaican.
was
Yeah,
Jamaican.
everyone was Jamaican. The students,
but it was open to other people.
everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Just non-Jamaicans were like,
No.
I don't understand why.
yeah. So like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Everybody there was Jamaican, pretty much.
Any Haitians?
Not. That
Did they
I
have
can
their own
remember.
private school?
Not that I remember. I'm sure Haitians went there.
Yeah.
But it was like Jamaican teachers.
Yeah.
Trinidad. I mean, I'll say like island. There's more island because some
Yeah.
teachers were from Trinidad,
Yeah.
Bahamas. So it's like for the islands because like their academics are different
Caribbean
than
school.
Caribbean school.
Gotcha.
It's different than America. They're like
yeah.
super advanced. So I ended up skipping a grade because of that. So it worked.
Huh.
Straightened out. But it was a Christian school as well. So they were very heavy on, Christianity and, we had devotion before class, all of that, and that kind of scared me straight for like a couple of years. Cause
Scared you into like you're like okay.
behaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You don't want to go to hell.
Fall in line.
Because the hell, they showed us this movie. Am I allowed to name the movie?
Yeah, please.
I mean,
All right, this
look
movie.
they can come after us. I don't know what they're getting, but
Well, probably give them some hype. Show this to your kids. This movie, Death and Beyond, scared the shit out of me. I couldn't eat pizza for a while.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Does they say pizza make you go to hell?
No, the devil in there looked like pizza. Kind of like Freddy. All right, so fun fact: Freddy Krueger was based on his design. This guy, one of the designers, saw like a pizza. He's like, oh, that would look cool, like because he's burned. So they designed Freddy Krueger off of like pizza.
Whoa.
So like the Death and Beyond, the devil. For some reason, it just reminded me of pizza. So I'm like, I didn't want to eat pizza. And that night, my family ordered Domino's.
Oh no.
And so the movie scared me shitless. This kid dies and he goes to hell 3 times. He ends up living, and but he went to hell 3 times.
Wow, this plot is all over the place.
Yeah.
How did he die 3 times?
He was sick.
We'll have to do a review of this movie.
It was
We
a
have to
crazy
watch
movie.
it.
It's like one of those 90s, like, like corny. But at the time, it was very, you're a kid. Everything seems real.
Well, was it like a movie put on by a church, or was it?
I believe so.
And this was mandatory viewing at your school.
It wasn't we would watch random movies all the time, so they just popped this movie in. Somebody had it for some reason.
They're like, exciting day, guys.
The
We get
teacher
to
wasn't
watch
even
a
in the
movie.
class. I remember girls crying.
Oh,
It was like
no.
scary. It's the scariest thing I ever saw in my life.
Yeah.
Sounds like it scarred you.
Yeah, it did. So then the movie's about people who died and like either went to heaven or hell or saw Jesus or whatever. And then just one story was a kid who went to hell. He was sick in the hospital, fell to hell 3 times, and he came back and he was like begging his grandma he doesn't want to go back.
So even kids in hospitals can go to hell?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was like, I would say he's like 15, 16.
Oh, so he was of age of reason.
Yeah.
He
he
could
was
deserve
sinning.
hell. He could deserve hell, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm like, damn, so this is the hell. They preach to you about hell, but it's like, as a kid, you're like, all right, it's real. But then like seeing that shit, I'm like, damn. Cause I saw Bill and Ted, and that didn't really mess me up. When Bill and Ted went to hell, it was like whatever. It was like more trippy than anything. This shit seemed real.
Well, what happened in hell in this movie?
The devil like grabbed him. I barely remember. The devil like you saw the gates. You see the 666 on the gate, and then like the devil was like there. It was just like scary. It was like
Pizza
dark.
Man.
So it's also the address of hell is 666.
Yeah.
666 Hell
Avenue.
Drive.
Yeah, 66 Hell Avenue. It was like the crazy shit. I remember
it was
going
Hell
to. I had karate the next morning. It was like a Friday, so I had karate the next morning.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking like the floor was gonna open up, I was gonna fall to hell if I was bad.
Yeah.
So like I was scarred for like months, and then I got hardcore into like religion after that.
You were like, okay, I'm gonna follow all the rules now.
Yeah, I did not play around. I still would get in trouble here and there. Because like when I get bored, like I just entertain myself, And then other than that, I was in church because my family was Pentecostal, so like we were in church like all day Sunday, Bible study or whatever, here and there. Then we had church at school, so like my whole life was like just Christianity.
Yeah.
So, but like it was more fear based. I saw the positives in it, but it was like I honestly say it was very fear based with me at the time.
Fire and brimstone. Yeah.
So like I just didn't want to go to hell.
Yeah.
And so that scared me straight.
Because you were like a teenager at this point?
Nah, I was young. I was like
Younger,
10.
way younger. Okay.
You went to a Pentecostal church, or like the school was like a Pentecostal school?
No. The school was just a regular. They didn't have it like a label, honestly. But it was like we had devotion. But a lot of people that went there were Pentecostal, and then my family went to Pentecostal churches growing up. Because my mom, when my parents were together, she didn't really go to church, and then her sister, my aunt, was heavy in the church. Then we started going.
Was it like Pentecostal light or Pentecostal heavy or Pentecostal moderate? Pentecostal heavy.
Moderate. Not the stuff you see on TV. Kind of, sort of.
Speaking tongues?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. That's heavy?
No, I mean Pentecostal means speaking tongues.
Yeah.
Did they like run out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not as drastic as you see on church. It does happen, like the older women.
Slain in the spirit.
Yeah, falling down.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that.
Did they push you on your forehead?
No, they didn't. Oh, they do. All right, so like I see some of the stuff on TV is kind of drastic, like in the movies.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then some of the stuff is like it's not as extreme,
yeah.
but they do that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But not like
Special days.
Yeah, not like that movie with John Goodman.
The show?
No, it was there's a Netflix movie.
I don't know.
It was like some church. They killed like the kids. They're like super extreme. They had snakes and shit.
Dang.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
You didn't dance with snakes.
Obviously, because
Yeah.
you survived.
Yeah, because there's a level of insanity,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Westboro.
Appropriate,
Yeah, not
yeah.
like that. It was cool.
There's appropriate craziness.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah. That's a good way to put it.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
So they scared you straight when you were 10.
Scared me straight when I was 10. Was going to church hardcore every single Sunday. Then they do like Bible retreats, like retreats.
yeah.
But like we were lied to. We were told we were going to a camp. So
Oh, that's a bummer.
yeah, it was a huge bummer.
Because you want to play
You
games.
still got to like canoe or something, right?
So, funny story. My cousin and I were like 2 months apart. So we had to do all this stuff together. So we went to the camp. Nothing like Camp Nowhere or anything like that. Have you seen Camp Nowhere?
No.
Is that another movie?
Yeah.
Dang, you know
90s
more
movie.
movies than
Hey,
we
you got
do.
a good movie knowledge.
It's a great movie. Check out Camp Nowhere.
We need to have a movie night soon.
Yeah, for real. Camp Nowhere, Three Ninjas, all of that. So it's nothing like camp you see like on Disney Channel.
Sure.
It was just like church all day, all night, every day,
Oh.
the whole weekend. So the canoe brought me back because me and the cousin saw a canoe. So we were planning like, all right, if we hop in this canoe, how far can we get? Because we were going to take the canoe because there's another camp, an actual kids
All you had to
camp.
do was say like we're about to practice walking on water,
There's no
and then
They weren't taking
just
their
keep
eyes off
speaking
you.
in tongues as you're boating.
walking to the
like,
camp, walking to the canoe. But our parents were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody was there. Like our grandparents, our aunt, our whole family was there.
Family
Yeah.
camp.
So yeah, there was an actual kids camp like next door. So you could see all the kids doing finger paints and having fun.
Oh, no.
And we're like in suits, like, all right, church again, it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's
or whatever,
intense.
in the morning. So yeah, all day, every day. So church became kind of a drag.
Right.
Sorry, Mom. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's extreme.
As a kid, you're like, damn, this is a drag. Like Sundays, like every Sunday. I remember at one point, I was like, damn, am I gonna have to do this every single Sunday for the rest of my life? I know it's kind of selfish, and it's like it's one day out of the week. But as a kid, you get school Monday through Friday. You get Saturday cartoons, and then it's like, all right, church all day. And Pentecostal church is like 6-7 hours.
Yeah, that's
So
a
church all
big
day, get ready for
commitment.
school Monday. So we had like legit one day.
Yeah.
Then my parents were divorced, so I'd stay with my dad on other weekends, and he didn't go to church. So it was like, all right, a weekend was like a weekend. You know what I'm saying? Then like with my mom, we go to church, and yeah, it was like all day. And then their Wednesday nights were Bible studies, and then if like a special preacher came in, it would come on as like a Saturday. You know, so it was like a revival weekend or something like that. So it was kind of a drag. And then like at schools, I'm at a small school. Everything just felt very claustrophobic. I'm at a small school. I see
Yeah.
the same people. I go to church, see the same people. And then I was like, because I know a lot of movies, my brother and I would watch a lot of movies and TV shows. So I'm seeing how other kids live on like,
Full House.
Full House, Smart House and all of that, Disney
Alf.
Channel,
Oh, I
even
love Smart
Stevens
House.
and stuff like that.
Bigfoot. Or Harry and the Hendersons, I mean.
Oh,
Did you watch
actually,
that?
yeah, of course. I just got that toy last week.
You got a Harry?
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
that's
dope.
cool. Yeah.
So like, yeah, I see that stuff and be like, damn, this is how I think that subconsciously is what made me want to move to San Francisco.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's other things to do.
Yeah, there's like, there's a whole nother life that you could live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But in church, they call it like you're being a part of the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
we heard that too.
Yes.
You don't want to be of the world.
Yeah, of the world. So
Yeah.
it's like you have to be in this little bubble all the time. So then it's like, damn. So like Richie Rich and all those kids, like Macaulay Culkin and Home Alone.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing all of this and like, damn, there's a whole nother way to live. But like this is my life. I guess this is what life is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? So and then that was just middle school.
Right.
Very confining.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what the history is behind like the Pentecostal like all day church thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Is it all Pentecostal churches, or is it like kind of?
I don't know if it's all like we've hopped around a couple churches. They've all been like what felt like 6, 7. Like you go 8, 9 o'clock. You're not done till like 2, 3 sometimes.
Like, we're not cheating God an hour.
No, you're there for a minute.
Yeah. I don't know if Assemblies of God is Pentecostal. I think technically it is. That's what I went to in high school willingly when I gave my whole life to it. But Sundays were like a full day thing. You go to service and then you go to class and then in the night you do like youth group or leadership.
It's probably based off of Pentecostal, but like it's probably like an offshoot sect. It's like, Episcopalian to Catholic. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, we don't agree with everything Pentecostal. We'll do Assembly of God over here. Yeah.
Is Baptist like close to Pentecostal?
I wouldn't say so. I don't believe I've been
different.
to a Baptist church for a number of years in high school, and they do not teach speaking in tongues whatsoever.
Or dancing. Aren't they like
Yeah, you dance.
anti-dancing?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like a breakdown. I think that came.
They brought wrestlers in, but they didn't have a dance.
Oh, yeah, that's an
that's
interesting
dope.
documentary. I forget what it's called. But like, yeah, there was like this dude, more than one probably, but they would go and try to evangelize through wrestling. And they'd have like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I went to the events. Like, it was a
that's
big
cool.
deal. They brought in like a whole wrestling stage. And then like a lot of the kids in the community who even didn't go to this church, Southside Baptist Church, would go there because this church like just put on like the best events for the community and students. So
That's dope.
Kids would go and watch this wrestling match, and then there would be like a sermon afterwards, and then
sometimes
then kids would be like, getting boyfriend and girlfriend afterwards. Like, it wasn't straight up
and
church.
sometimes the kids would be invited to like hit the dude with a chair, which who doesn't want to do that? And a clip that I saw, the guy was like asking the kids to beat him up like Jesus was beat up, so they would get to go up and like smack him around.
Very morbid.
I want to put the spear in your side.
Anyway,
I want your entrails to fall out, sir.
Anything to win people to
real.
Christ,
For real.
So yeah, that was a very intense upbringing that you experienced.
Yeah, it was like other people say, like that's just the way life is. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's just what you knew.
Like that's all I knew. So.
But you knew you wanted more.
Yeah, I knew I wanted more, and I knew it was like, dang, it's a lot. And I was always so scared, like, oh damn, if I do this, I'm gonna go to hell. If I do this, I'm gonna go to hell. And it's like, it's not fun.
Yeah,
so
like,
like
have that constant fear of eternal judgment and suffering.
Was there ever a time where you were like looking at what people were telling you and looking at maybe the text that they were basing it off of and not seeing a direct link? Like that people were putting their own little mustard on top of the Bible?
I mean, yeah, like the whole gay thing, I guess, like, I didn't understand like that.
They went in hard.
That with that, I didn't understand it. It's like, all right, you preach love, but we're supposed to hate these people. Not hate, but you're supposed to condemn these people. But like, I knew at a young age, like I knew kids like my same age, 8, 9, like, yeah, they're gay for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's not something I realized earlier, like, it's not something that you could help. It's not like something you choose. So like that part was like my first kind of like question mark, red flag. I was like, all right, I don't get that part.
Yeah. Like Larry is a good dude.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to love, so
Yeah.
why is there an exception?
Yeah, exactly. Like that part I didn't understand.
Well, because you don't see the example of Jesus separating. You actually see the example of Jesus like dining and communing with everyone.
With people his society did.
Yeah, unconditionally.
That's true.
Welcoming them here. I was thinking about this the other, I didn't even tell Keely, but we could just say that like the tagline is welcome. Backsliders welcome.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there was like a bunch of stuff, honestly. Like I would look at people like who I knew did, like they weren't into the church. Yeah. Like that. And I would think like, damn, so are all these people going to hell? Like everybody goes to hell if you're not like a Christian? Yeah. So like that part also didn't make sense to me. the whole dinosaurs thing, because I was obsessed with dinosaurs. I'm like,
Sure.
the Bible doesn't explain dinosaurs at all.
You didn't need to. They're going to hell.
Yeah, I guess they're going to
Didn't
have
you
to.
say once that you would get in trouble at school for talking about dinosaurs? or
Yeah, I was
something?
actually
don't
in
remember that
high
story.
school.
Okay,
So I went to a Christian high
Don't
school.
talk about dinosaurs around here.
Yeah,
You're gonna cause a fuss.
yeah,
God's gonna have to burn the whole country again.
oh God.
because it's dinosaurs.
But what happened? So what? You're in a a private Christian high school too?
Yeah. So my mom, I got older. So I was at that school till they went till 8th grade. So I skipped 6th grade. I did 7th grade.
Okay.
Then my mom was like time for me to go like out into like a real school, like to prepare myself for the world, I guess you can say.
For all the sinners.
Yeah, like, but it's still a Christian school.
Oh, gotcha.
So like, I guess she found this school and then she sent me there. So it was a Christian school. It wasn't Pentecostal. It was I want to say Presbyterian, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah,
They have schools.
yeah, probably like a Presbyterian. I want to say, I might be wrong, but it was like 99.99%.
It's okay actually to be wrong.
Yeah,
That's kind
Yeah.
of the point
Are
of
you
the
going
show.
ahead?
Yeah.
Or,
That's
It's okay to be
or
wrong.
just
That's
to,
another great tagline.
Or just to not be right.
Or to not know.
Because not being right doesn't mean you're wrong.
That's true.
Also
Because
not
there's
knowing.
a lot of unknowns. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
we
I
go.
guess you don't know.
No.
Yeah, nobody.
What do we know?
Maybe nobody knows.
Yeah.
You know.
So then you're
Faith is not knowing. Faith is not knowing and being okay with it.
all right, Micah. Stop pushing your
It's not an agenda.
agenda of non-agenda. Okay, so then you're at this maybe Presbyterian school.
Yeah, and it was 99.99% like a white school.
Oh, so that was a big change
Yeah, it
from
was
your other
huge.
school.
It was drastic. I was one of 2 black kids in my grade.
How old are you?
I was at this time 12,
Okay.
12, 13. Yeah, 12 going on 13. So I went there for 8th grade. And same thing. They were just as hardcore as far as Christianity goes as everybody else. But now I'm experiencing like the race part of
Yeah.
everything. And so that's when all the questions, at this school is where all the questions started coming. And I'm like, all right, I don't know. But like at the time, you like, even if you don't know, you just shut up and do it. Like you don't really question. They say you never question God. Like that's a big
Right.
thing.
Yeah, they shame you for that.
Yeah, like you never question it. And so I went there and like, yeah, a teacher brought up, she accidentally said something about dinosaurs, something like 100 million years ago, something like that. And then all the students like blasted her for that. And I didn't understand what they were talking about.
They were like, "Oh, you're wrong.
Yeah.
The Earth is only 2,000 years
Yeah.
old because of Jesus."
Yeah, exactly. And I never knew that. So I was like, oh.
Wait, is that a real thing? Like
Creationism doesn't agree with
Yeah.
how old scientists have proven that the Earth is.
Yeah. I learned that day. I had no idea like that. I thought everybody thought like, yeah, there's dinosaurs and it's
Which
been
means
around.
millions of years.
Yeah.
but we have like texts before that.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know how old Christians think the world is, but there's definitely debate about the dinosaur
Well,
thing.
we should know since we're very passionate
Yeah.
Christians.
Right. We should look that up so we can get that right.
We have to apologize to people
So
for the
then-
wrong answers
Did you speak up
about
for
dinosaurs being here millions of years ago.
Oh no, I didn't get involved. I was just like, I was listening, and I'm like, I asked somebody like, what was everybody tripping about?
Yeah.
And he's like, duh, like because of Jesus. She's saying the Earth is like millions of years ago. Basically, I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, because of Jesus, like that means he said that means she believes in evolution.
Right, which is evil.
Yeah. Which I heard the evolution thing younger in school. Where
The
they're,
idea of
speaking-
evolution or the
yeah,
fact
they were
that
speaking
it's-
out against it.
It's evil.
Yeah, like you shouldn't teacher said, oh, you shouldn't look. It was like I was very into like National Geographic and stuff like that. So like one of the magazines had like a ape skull they found, or like a humanoid or whatever they call it, ape thing. And I'm like, oh damn. So I'm like, oh, is this real? And then she was like, no.
Oh.
So I heard that before, and then cut to like 3 years later. That happened at school. So somebody broke that down to me. I'm like, oh, all right. I didn't know people thought this, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that happened there.
I mean, it's confusing how mad people get about things that question. But not even talking about dinosaurs isn't questioning your faith, but that your faith is so caught up in like specific years that then you think that, oh, science has to be wrong so that my faith can be right is confusing to navigate, especially as a kid.
Well, if you start like admitting that, oh, well, maybe that wasn't completely true, then you start having to admit
then everything
other
falls
things might
apart.
be untrue.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're
You
afraid
can't
that,
relinquish any truth.
yeah, because of that
As a
that Jenga piece. You take that one out,
yeah.
crash.
You're done.
Yeah, it's different. And I always kind of believed in aliens. So like,
You just had a feeling that they were.
like I just
Claude,
didn't-
you're such a cool kid.
Yeah, I didn't. Aliens were always like a thing for me. So I didn't. That
Was
was
it
something
E.T.?
I'm like. Was it ET? Nah.
What was it?
It's just.
So you just thought like
Space Jam.
these skulls were alien skulls?
All of that. The skulls? No. I thought that there was just aliens and flying saucers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, those ideas had to come from somewhere. Then like, those like documentaries on like History Channel and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, those were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
UFO sightings.
Yeah, UFO sightings, and then like when people would capture the stuff on VHS, and they'd have those like specials some nights, like caught on camera.
So you would like sneak and watch this stuff?
No, I was allowed to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
see,
cool.
my mom
I would
wasn't
watch
like hardcore. My mom was chill. She was more like, oh, behave and go to church.
Yeah.
But she wasn't like hardcore. Like she was pretty chill about everything. Like we went to church. It was kind of like, or you go to church because you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And she's very very strong in her faith, but she didn't like try and force it upon us. But we couldn't say no, we're not going to church. That was more like a respect thing. Jamaicans are all about respect. Whatever your parents tell you to do, you do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she wasn't
Which
like
is odd. Which is very. I mean, I get it, but you haven't lived until you've told your parents they were wrong. You know what I mean? You haven't become an individual.
I guess. But we were scared to do that, so we did not play those games.
Well, I'm sure at some point, whether or not you've told your mom she was wrong about something, you've decided some
for
other
sure.
thing
For
is
sure.
true.
You grow up, you make your own
Yeah.
choices.
As I got older.
Yeah,
Which is a
yeah.
form of
Yeah.
backsliding. You're saying, like, Mom, the way you see the world is different than a way see the world, and you're sliding out of her covering of authority.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is how I
As
view
I got
religion.
older, and I talked to her about the whole religion thing. She's
You
like,
have?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like, where are you now? Or what have
Now-
those conversations been like?
So, like, I definitely, I believe in God.
Sure.
Like, the whole label, I'm like, I don't know what I am. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want
Yeah.
to put a label on it. I never believe in God. I believe there's a Jesus. But I think, as I go, I'm like, all right, maybe it's just each and every person's own relationship, type of deal. Like, I don't feel like I have to go to church to have a connection.
Yeah.
I've had, breakthroughs like this on my own.
Right.
So I definitely believe there's a God. I'm more spiritual based. I've explored other things. I guess you can say like saging and all of that. Mm-hmm. Before if I was younger, I was taught to believe that stuff is witchcraft.
Sure.
Yeah, same. I was afraid of saging.
Yeah.
Tarot cards.
Tarot cards I still don't really play with. Like, yeah, I personally don't play with it, but people use them. They're cool.
Yeah.
But certain stuff I'll experiment with, and some stuff I won't.
Yeah.
But
you're comfortable like stepping outside from some of the fear-based beliefs that you were taught
Yeah.
and being like, maybe I don't have to be afraid
Yeah.
of, maybe I don't have to go to church all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have to go to church. Like, I have faith. I definitely believe like people should have like faith.
You're a kind,
And
loving person.
Everything, yeah. Just be a good person.
Yeah.
The typical, which is what everybody else is taught. Unless you're into like Satanism or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's all boils down to being a good person, treat people with respect, and just be chill. Like, and I just don't care enough about what other people are doing.
Yeah.
That's key and challenging.
Yeah. So like, if somebody else believes something, like, that's on them. That's them. You know, that's what they rock with. So like that whole, like in high school, I used to go to there's one church, and then like we had to go to the mall and like try and preach to people about Jesus.
Oh, you were like tasked with doing that?
Yeah.
Like go
It
evangelize
wasn't
at the
from
mall?
the school. It's from the church I was going to.
Did you?
Yeah. We have to go to the mall and like be like, oh, you know, have you heard about the word? And stuff like that.
The word.
And I didn't really rock with it. I was like, whatever. It was an excuse to go to the mall on a weekday. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'll do it. But, yeah, we had to do that. And that whole, like, trying to force it upon other people was whack to me. I never really rocked with that.
Yeah. And it puts a lot of pressure when you're like hearing that you have to do that when you're a kid. Like if you don't save someone's soul and like tell them about Jesus, that they could be forced to go to hell, putting that pressure on you to then talk to them. It's a lot.
I felt it was disrespectful to do that. And like, I know some people feel like it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I always felt like that's mad, like it's just disrespectful to go to somebody and like judge them and tell them like, oh, you need to rock with this, or you're doomed in the afterlife.
Yeah.
That's like stuff didn't make sense to me. I've always kind of had a mind of my own, so like stuff like that didn't make sense to me. So
I mean, it is kind of within the religion though itself, like to
Evangelize.
be fishers of men, proselytize,
yeah, like
evangelize.
we had to do that. So as I got older, I'm like, all right, well, that whole part, like, which the churches now, I've gone to church. I've been to like last year. Like I've been in and out, like exploring. So like, there's still faith and stuff there. But I just think it's like energy, like just the energy you put in. You want to surround yourself by good energy, but know when don't get brainwashed. You know, like sometimes you need to hear a good word, which is why I got into non-denominational when I got into like my 20s. Because they were mostly like, be a good person, or like having faith, you know, having strong faith and strong will to pull through when stuff gets tough and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, this is more me.
Yeah.
So if I do have to go to church, I'm gonna choose this non-denominational.
Right.
Like more love, less judgment.
Yeah, and I
More
went
less
with
fear.
a transgender friend of mine, and that's really what I was like. All right, cool, like that. This is dope, because that wouldn't fly in like some of the old school churches I used to go to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when I went with her, like it was like, damn, like this is cool, and nobody was like tripping. Nobody was like looking like weird.
But they're secretly wishing.
Yeah, on the low, yeah.
Really?
And like, and that's the thing too. Is like I would go and not want to get too involved.
Yeah,
like, I didn't want to join groups.
Stay
I just
on the
wanted to pop
peripheral,
in, get a message for the day, and then be out.
Yeah.
And non-denominational churches are short, like an hour.
Like, you can't just take from our community,
Yeah.
Claude.
Yeah, they
We need you to be vulnerable to us.
which funny that actually happened.
They tried to get you to join a small group.
I did.
small cult?
I
I mean, a
ended up
small group?
joining small groups and being a part of like the team.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I kind of got I want to say pressured, but the pastor kind of called me out one day on it. I felt like he was speaking to me because he said
That was the Lord.
He brought it up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he did look at me. I used to always pop in. I'll skip the singing part and I'll pop in right before the message starts. I sit all the way in the back and then I'll just be out. And then the message that day is like, oh, you need to be a part of the community and join a team. There's a bunch of youth groups and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I can't just pop in here all the time. Maybe I should partake. And then I did it, and it was whatever. It was cool. They were chill.
I mean, the community aspect of church is awesome. Like meeting with other like-minded people who clearly care about.
Even the structure of a
People
church
loving
organization
others.
is pretty amazing. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's a
get
good-
tax-free funds. You get a lot of free labor. It's amazing.
Micah.
It's an amazing organizational
true.
You're
thing.
sounding very negative.
No, like I thought about starting a church just so
God.
you know we could take donations. It's almost like a community savings fund. Like people come and
You can build bigger churches.
you can build each other like a community center, and you don't get taxed, and you can give to each other, and you don't have same like gift taxes and stuff. Like
That's true.
it's a good shelter for money in a community.
Nice little hustle.
The dangerous side is when people start taking advantage of that, but that's a whole other
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing.
topic.
Like Miracle Water.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
You got miracle water at home?
No, the commercial always comes on late at night.
It's still they still run stuff like this. Is Peter
like,
Popoff?
Yeah, 2 a.m.
Wow. Still sending you napkins and stuff.
Yeah,
like
napkins with Miracle Water, and somebody gets a $400 check to fix their car.
Man,
Yeah.
it still works. I remember seeing the guy who sold like the end of the world like bucket of biscuits or something.
What?
Damn.
There's like one of these guys that like teaches like doomsday revelation stuff,
So you
and
need a
he'll sell
biscuit.
like a bucket of like food rations for
like biscuits for when Jesus comes back in between when he gets
not
you.
when he comes back, just when like we ruin the world and before he comes back. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
When
It's
everything
coming.
else is falling apart.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna need your bucket of biscuits, okay?
Sponsored by Bucket of Biscuits.
It's
Popeyes.
that simple of like
Damn.
name.
Bucket of biscuits.
Okay, well let's
For
stop
Christ.
promoting it if that's real.
Hey, if you want to buy a bucket of biscuits, you can buy it.
Yeah, that's on you.
It's not
You fall for that.
salvation.
But yeah, where were we?
I don't know.
Well, how was that
Bucket of
conversation with your mom? You said you talked with your mom. Was
Yeah,
it like a big
wasn't like
to-do?
in
or
depth.
she-
It was
yeah.
like she was like, "Oh, are you going to?" She would ask me every Sunday, like, "Did you go to church or are you going to church?"
Because you talk to her a lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked to her. We talk at least every day, almost every day.
That's so sweet.
So I was like, "No, I'm not going." Then one day I'm just like, "I don't really rock with it."
No.
And she's like, "All right." She's more like, "That's on you," but I
Yeah.
really feel like you should go to church.
Yeah.
You know, but I can't really force you.
Well, does she believe once saved, always saved,
I was just
or
gonna ask
can you
that.
lose salvation from her point of view? Because that's like a whole controversy within like the Christian community, and then there's Calvinism, and then
All right,
like-
take it easy.
you know, like some people believe that you're predestined, so it doesn't like you're either going to heaven or hell, just regardless. And then some believe that you have free choice to either decide to go to heaven or hell.
I'd say the free choice part.
That's Calvinism.
I don't. Yeah, I say the free choice. I know she knows I wouldn't choose to go to hell,
Sure.
but and I don't think she's even into it like that. She's just like, you should go to church because you know what I'm saying. Like, keep the faith, or like so you have strong faith.
Yeah.
And and be blessed with
Yeah,
stuff.
for the
It's not
positive
like
sides of it.
you're you know what I'm saying. You don't go to church. You're probably doing cocaine and running wild in L.A. You know,
Yeah.
she's chill about it. Like she's way more chill than I thought she would be at one point. But she's cool about it.
Yeah.
Like she goes here and there. She's not like an every weekend person. And my brother, he doesn't really go anymore.
Yeah.
But we still have like these conversations. Like we don't know like what to believe or like we.
That's the
definitely-
devil.
Yeah,
The devil got you confused now.
warping my mind because I read
Yeah.
Harry Potter. that was a thing too.
You know what's
You weren't
funny
allowed
about
to read
Harry
Harry
Potter?
Potter?
No,
You know what's funny about Harry Potter?
What?
She based that off of the Bible.
for real.
Straight up.
For real?
Straight up. If you break down Harry Potter, it's a lot of biblical elements.
Damn. I did not know that.
I'm sure there's like a Reddit thread or something.
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can read.
Yeah, she.
That's a lot of stories. That's Lion King, right? I don't know.
Actually, I Lion King.
I don't know.
Well,
Certainly.
the Jesus
Bible.
story is a great story.
Sure.
So
I mean,
there's a
it's
lot
been
of-
told over and over again. I mean,
Yeah,
it
Star
was
Wars.
told
Yeah.
before the Jesus story,
Yeah.
which we don't talk about. Maybe we'll get somebody on here who's like super like mythology scholar. That'd be
Yeah.
super cool. If you know any mythology
Any
scholars
experts?
about stories predating Jesus Christ, virgin birth.
Eastern religion.
Because there's
that's
like
where it came.
there's like virgin birth stories. There's Messiah stories before Jesus.
That's true. Like, would Hercules be a Jesus story?
It's. I don't know.
It's a.
Close.
Well, what? We gotta
I
get
mean,
a-
they're
we
all
gotta
great
get a-
stories.
We got to get a scholar.
We got to get an expert in here. But now I want more Claude stories.
Yeah.
So one time, you texted me about Spring Fling 2006. You told me not to forget for this
Sounds
podcast.
like a fun
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Spring Fling? Or Bling?
Spring Bling.
Okay.
2006. That was because I was gonna go on the whole. So in high school.
And that was when the hit song "Every Time I Come Around the City," Bling
That was
Bling.
like- yeah, exactly. That's when Bling Bling was hot. So this is I'm showing my age. This was 2006. Yeah, so I was a freshman in college. So then
At a Christian school?
Yeah, at a Christian college. Because my mom wanted me to, she's like, oh, you should go to a Christian college, keep the Christian school thing going.
Yeah.
I was like,
Keep being
damn,
good.
that was my last, this year was my last straw with it. And I was like, I'm good.
We had a
off
good
this.
resume to get into,
Yeah.
like SMU. I don't know where.
The Christian college?
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
I'm sorry, I distracted.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So I went there. Yeah, I had all my Christian credits. I had Bible credits because we had to take Bible in school.
Right.
So I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So before that, my Christian experience in high school was different because like all those damn kids were racist and some of the teachers were racist. So I was like, and anti-Semitic. So I was like, damn. So that's when I started to correlate. All right, Christianity was given to black people by slave owners to kind of keep them in
Yeah.
check. So I started to research that, and I'm like, all right, so that wasn't our original religion.
Right.
Which is why I feel like to this day, like black people go so hard for Christianity because we were taught to, and like we cling on, like we're very faith based. So like, I think that's where that came from, like why the Pentecostals and all of that, like we go so hardcore for Christianity because that's back then that's all they had really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only good news that they had.
Yeah, exactly. Other than
Hopeful.
But
that,
also, they were new to the game, and so they had to prove themselves even harder, probably.
exactly.
It's like, oh, you go to church for 2 hours? Well, we go for 8.
Exactly. And your kids are gonna do it, and your kids' kids, and your kids'
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
in church all day, every Sunday.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I feel like the more you've had to overcome, the more important your faith becomes. And like when you're carrying that ancestry, it's like you need hope and like a belief in like a God that loves you.
exactly.
I mean, it's there's a lot of reasons, I'm sure.
Exactly, and like the forgiveness, like very forgiving.
Yeah.
And so that was what I had to battle with in high school, was like the whole forgiveness thing.
Because these people were like cruel to you and your other classmate.
Yeah, like extremely racist. I'm not gonna say all of them,
Yeah.
but nice 2 handfuls.
Yeah. So you're like looking at
And how many
Nice
handfuls
chunk of
were there?
There's a lot of handfuls.
Okay.
And like it was like, I was the N-word on Monday, but on Tuesday we're all in chapel crying and throwing our hands up to the song. Or whatever song they're singing. So it's like that's when I was like, all right, yeah, this is whack.
hypocrisy.
Yeah, the 9/11 happened, so all of that against like the Muslims. But like these are like, to me it's like, all right, these are Christian people saying this. And I'm not saying like I'm perfect, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But you were just noticing.
I was just noticing like, all right, yeah, these people are even, and it was more when the adults did stuff. I was like, all right, like I don't know if I really rock with this anymore.
Like it's okay for somebody who's an adolescent to be messed up for a minute, but they're getting it from somewhere, and you're reinforcing that.
Exactly.
While at the same time preaching about Jesus, who is
Exactly,
nothing but love, while they're
Exactly.
condemning other people, or like that doesn't add up.
Yeah, it didn't add up for me, and like I didn't really know what Jewish was.
Yeah.
So all the I would hear all the Jewish jokes and stuff, but I didn't know what like a Jewish. I didn't know that like being Jewish was like a religion or whatever. So like I'd hear all the Jewish stuff, like the anti-Semitic stuff, and I didn't really get it because like the rival high school was like a Jewish high school. So yeah, so it was just like it was a lot more hate than love, I can say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what 4 years of that, 5 years, 'cause I went there 8th grade. So 5 years of that, and then I was like, yeah, I can't, I don't know. I didn't know anymore. So cut to Spring Bling. I went to the Christian college, and this is West Palm Beach, like by the water, and there's always events and stuff there.
So you're a freshman now.
Yeah, I'm a freshman. And the school was cool. It wasn't as extreme as like high school. I mean, there was a lot of rules.
Like dorm checks. and
Yeah,
stuff
dorm
like
check, sex check.
Sex check.
Yeah, they call it sex check. So like,
Let me smell your dick.
they had to. They would get put. They go that far.
What?
I'm joking. Nah, I'm joking. They sex checks, because we had the dorms were split into boys and girls, but you could have people over like one night of the week. And so I guess like Friday nights was like our dorms night. But we could have girls over. You had to sign them up to the room or whatever. And the RAs would come out like every 15, 20 minutes, knocking your door, like, sex check. Pop in, make sure you're not having sex.
That's so funny that it was like that blatant. Because
Yeah.
at the Christian school I went to my freshman year, there were similar rules. I don't remember people calling it a sex check. I don't think they checked that frequently. You just had to have your door open.
Yeah.
If you had
the door was
guests
open, but
over.
you couldn't crack it, but you couldn't close it all the way.
Yeah.
So like they'd knock and open the door and just pop in, make sure you're not having sex, and then they'd be out and they'd come back around. Get very annoying during movies, but
During sex.
yeah, and during sex.
Very annoying during sex.
Yeah. So
Yes, I'm in here.
yeah, please close the door. Turn the light on. Yeah, it was an interesting school. But at this point, I'm out of the house. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I did it for a year.
How was that school? Was it like a mixed school?
Yeah,
Were there,
yeah.
like more people?
Yeah, way more mixed. Still majority white, but it's way more mixed than
Sure,
my
you-
high school.
Yeah.
Especially because of basketball. They had a basketball team. So, yeah. So, a lot more mixed. It wasn't as bad as... the students weren't like the students at my high school. So the whole Spring Bling thing was like there's always events, and I guess BET was doing a spring break event that year. So for some reason they happened to send an email out to all the kids wanting to lock the school down and don't be out because it's Spring Bling. So then all the students thought that shit was hella racist. It was very racist because there was other spring break stuff. It was West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And they didn't send out any like email blasts or anything like that. So I just thought it was funny.
So wait, they were telling
you were supposed to not go out because BET was in town?
Yeah, because BET was in town.
like that's scary.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, and then all the students got pissy about it. So then they had to like apologize and all of that. This is before like Twitter and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Facebook was like maybe a year old or so. So this is before like Twitter and all that stuff. So it's not like big media outlets. All the students were like, bro, that's messed up. And you guys are racist for that. And
Yeah.
So I just thought it was hilarious. I was at that point I was already used to it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was funny. But then now you're getting kids from like all over the world, you know what I'm saying? Like the US that are going to this school. So some kids are like, yeah, this shit's hella racist. Like, you know, people from the West Coast are more liberal than this is South Florida still. So the people were like, yeah, it's racist, you know, and we had a good laugh, but they got blasted for it. And yeah, Spring Bling happened, and they didn't want us to go out, and they wanted to cancel. They didn't want us to leave the dorms or like go out and about or anything,
Yeah.
just because a bunch of black people were coming to town. But the country stuff and bluegrass was like no big deal. But yeah,
That's ridiculous.
so yeah, I left that school, and then I was out into the world.
San Francisco.
I went to Tallahassee after that,
Okay.
and then San Francisco.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was interesting. So like, I would say the race thing was the biggest deciding factor for me as far as the whole Christianity thing goes.
Like kind of stepping back and like finding your own way. Yeah.
So yeah, like that, all that stuff just didn't add up for me.
It just became too exhausting to sort the good from the bad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
Because you're like, where's the love?
Right.
exactly. So, and then like people from different religions were like super cool, and you're taught to not really taught, but they're like, oh, you can't really associate with people who don't believe.
Yeah, another fear-based
Yeah.
thing, because like that might jeopardize
That's
your
also a
faith.
cult rule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it is.
You know, murder them. I'm joking.
So
But,
then you became friends with like people.
yeah, people from other religions, like, and the nicest people to me, the people who were the nicest were actually Muslim, which was cool.
Assalamu alaikum.
They were dope. They were super dope. In San Francisco, at the school I went to, they get a lot of international students. Majority international. And
So
yeah,
you're
a lot of
meeting-
people from like the Middle East, Saudi. Everybody I've met from Saudi Arabia has been awesome.
Which is like very different from what I'm sure you thought as a kid.
Yeah, because I was in 8th grade when 9/11 happened. So like everything on TV was like everybody from over there is like terrorists or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then and especially at that school, it was like there was no, I don't think there maybe one person that was Middle Eastern.
Yeah. And that's how that fear just spreads because like it's just of the unknown. You're associating some people's actions with like whole faith, which is so backwards.
Yeah, exactly. So like that was that when I went to San Francisco, like it was eye opening. It was just way more accepting. Like there's people, you know, from all walks of life, and I had my group of friends was extremely diverse. Like it was pretty cool. And so then that's when like the whole "don't be of the world" thing is like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like the world's actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
You know, there's crazy people out there, but like you just gotta find your circle.
It's not because they're not Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so that's when I'm like, I can't be closed-minded. Like I just don't want to be. I just can't be closed-minded. And then looking back at it, me going to that high school is like it did open my mind up to different things like music or whatever the hell. So like from there, I learned to be open-minded, and then I guess like the Christianity part was like the last step into this being open to anything. You know, like people who were into whatever.
Yeah.
Because I got into all kinds of different music and learning how people's religions and what they teach and stuff like that was like interesting for me. I liked learning how other people grew up. And so it was just cool. It ended up being cool. And then I was going to church in San Francisco, but it wasn't as extreme as like before, you know. And then so
That's so cool. It's just really cool to hear a short version of your journey and hear like you as a kid always dream of San Francisco, and then like you kind of found yourself and like expanded your faith there with other people of different faiths.
yeah.
You should write a book or make a movie.
One day, a movie would be dope. A movie. I do want to do a movie like about like a high school like I went to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which would
you
be
should.
cool. It's very interesting. Because in my graduating class, I was one of 5 black kids.
Are you still friends with anyone?
No. Oh, wait, no. My best friend, one person.
Yeah.
And I won't say that. There's a couple people, a handful of people who are still
Follow you on Facebook.
following me on Facebook. But my best friend, like we are still cool to this day.
Yeah.
Are they all still in Florida?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
He's in Chicago, but a lot of everyone else is. A couple people in LA, but everyone else is in Florida. Yeah, because like I had a group of friends there, like a group of people I was cool with, who were cool, but like the majority of the students were just dickheads. So
Hopefully they grew up out of their dickheadedness, but I don't know.
thought
It's
so.
hard. It's hard when you don't change your environment.
Yeah, and that's what I learned.
How
It's
you
like
grow.
they grew up, their parents know each other, they date each other, and there's just this bubble. And that's when I learned about like how life is. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned a lot about race and racism because of that. It's just like, all right, these people don't associate with like people of different colors, so they legit don't know.
And then they just perpetuate the
Yeah.
cycle.
Exactly.
Just perpetuate fear, perpetuate separatism, they perpetuate.
Yeah, it was weird. So yeah, like I learned about all of that from going there. And I like to think that it changed as people got older, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Some people know.
Yeah.
When Obama won, it was, and Facebook was a thing, and Obama won, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, a lot of stuff is the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. How did you feel that? Because like, I know my experience was different than yours. I was like out of a bubble when Obama got elected. I was here in LA. At like, I wasn't around people pushing back. You know what I mean? Like I was around people that were like excited.
yeah, I was too. It was I was in college in Tallahassee at the time. He won, and then like so when Facebook came out,
Right.
it was only people you went to college with. And then
Yeah.
when it opened up, it was like, all right, everyone from high school was like, oh, social
yeah,
media is
yeah,
new.
yeah, yeah.
So like even people you didn't talk to was like, all right, I kind of know you, so let's be each other friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
So then
Back
Obama
when poking
won.
was a thing. On
Yeah,
Facebook.
exactly. They poke you like,
So gross.
like, oh, I guess I should say hello.
Poke.
Yeah.
So
It's
like
just, it was like the precursor to like Tinder.
to everything.
Just like
But
dating.
MySpace was MySpace then
MySpace.
Facebook. But like MySpace wasn't like your peers. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna find people,
Yeah.
like my friends. So yeah, Facebook became a thing. It's just everyone from high school was like my friends on there. And then Obama won, and then just all this racist shit again. So I'm like, all right, yeah, nothing. Then praise Jesus on Sunday. So like nothing really changed there. So I'm
You
like,
would see it on other people's walls.
yeah, on
you see
other
it
people's
your
walls.
wall,
Yeah,
or-
no, on other people's walls. I'll just read the comments that night.
Just their reaction.
Yeah, their reaction to it. They would say some racist.
They're just like, what the hell has
Yeah.
this country come to?
One dude. Oh, he's actually a Christian rock singer now.
Oh, great.
He
need more.
what did he say? He was like, "Oh, we're gonna change the country, the bird from the eagle to the fried chicken." And he said something else. So I'm like, bruh, I said something. I was like, bruh, fuck you, something like that.
Yeah, great.
And then
True colors.
he messaged me all this stuff like, "Oh man, I didn't mean like that, blah blah blah."
How?
I mean,
What
I didn't
other
mean
way
black
can
people
you
to see
mean
this.
For real. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know I had a black friend on Facebook. My bad.
I would have blocked you, bro.
I'm not racist.
Brother.
And now he's like he's a big Christian rock singer now.
Yeah.
Bless his.
And
heart.
so all right, so when I see that like now, I think about like, damn, I know how these people really are.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where it's like
I mean, I feel you, but I got to push back just slightly because I do feel like we've got room. We got to give people opportunity to change and grow. But I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But he was an adult. He was older than me.
Right.
He was,
Everyone's capable of change,
Yes.
but will they? And are people
understand.
examining
I
themselves?
understand.
I don't know.
yeah.
I guess I just want to hold on to hope that that there are things in our lives we can stand corrected on. And I would hope that
I'd hope something
happens to
change.
him at some point, if not already.
But the reality is, some people live their whole lives and they are racist, or you know what I mean, like,
I understand that.
or assholes, or like sexist. Like, all we can do is like be an example of love and call it out. But like,
Yeah.
assholes exist, and
In everything.
yeah.
I think it's because a lot of
Good point,
people like
Angie.
justify prejudice. They're like, well, that's my prejudice. I was like, well, your prejudice sounds really racist. You know what I mean? Like,
What is the difference between racist and prejudice?
prejudice is like, oh, I had one experience and it was bad, so this is my opinion. And
Oh.
then basing that and then generalizing everything there on after.
That's true.
Racism is like, I already feel superior regardless of any experience I've ever had.
So people cloak their racism and call it prejudice when
Yeah.
they probably didn't even have an experience. They're just like basing their prejudice on somebody, like what an older person probably told them.
Right. Like, I heard this story in the Globe, therefore it's true or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad.
It is sad. I mean, I've heard it from my own father, you know, like, he would say, like, that's my prejudice. I'm like, that's beyond prejudice, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
For real.
Dude,
But I'm just saying, like, that's how I think they rationalize it or justify it.
That's true.
it's just hard to get people to examine themselves, honestly.
Yes.
And especially in terms of things like that, especially if they're not changing their environment. It's like, and nobody around them is questioning what they believe, so you just kind of like repeat a pattern. I'm glad we all got out of our hometowns.
Yeah. And that bubble. But yeah. But I mean, yeah. And I see the positives in Christianity. I'm not gonna say like
Right.
every single.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
speaking
mean,
from my
every
experience.
religion has
Yeah.
like its threads of positive help and helping people grow.
Yeah, love, community.
I think it has its threads that unravel that at times, and I think when people use it to abuse authority and power, then it's like, oh, I don't know if we need that.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, but and that I guess that happens in everything, even like at work or a job or whatever. People abuse it to, and you are if you're able to use it to control somebody, 9 times out of 10 somebody's gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
People abuse the legal system.
Yeah.
People abuse the HR department at their company. You know, and they're like, well, the rule says.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, I'm not saying this all bad. Like, yeah, there's definitely, but I wear the Lord's Prayer on my arm every day.
You still go to church sometimes, yeah?
Yeah, sometimes we listen to it on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Hey, there's not like, you know, a Christian would say like that's good enough, man.
Yeah, it's straight.
some
it's
Christians,
good.
I mean, everybody has their different definition.
Exactly. Like back to what I was saying,
you don't
everybody's
have to judge
personal.
your commitment to
and technology is different. You know,
you're seeking knowledge.
Exactly.
You're seeking truth, and like there is nobility and sanctity in that.
Exactly. Like
I feel like that's what we're trying to do here with Backsliders. It's not like let's make a case for
against anything.
Although, you know, like I'm human, it's gonna come out sometimes that like I have an opinion, God forbid. But really, I just want to like continue a conversation with people and say like, hey, come as you are.
Welcome.
And you don't have to worship. Come as you are, and just like let's discuss this journey we're all on, because we're all on it, and we happen to be here on it at the same time.
Amen, brother.
Preach.
Glory.
Less fear, more of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
this was awesome.
Backsliders,
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for being on here.
Yeah, appreciate you having this conversation with us. This was really
being
cool.
our friend.
Very therapeutic.
It's been great.
No, I'm not saying that it wasn't real.